All right, for more on this, let's bring in former President Trump's attorney, Alina Habba. Alina, good to see you. Thanks for being with us. I think most fair-minded Americans who look at the facts of this case would agree with your assessment. You have the facts, but you don't have the politics. You're saying you're going to appeal. The problem is, do you think you're going to get a fair-minded judge that aren't left-wingers, that are going to look at the facts and look for justice as opposed to political retribution of President Trump?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, but I can tell you that we have had reversals on this case. Of course, they're not widely reported because MSDNC and the rest would never report such a thing. But when you have radical left people, as you astutely just said, that are clearly politically motivated, the law still stands. And we have a record for appeal like nothing I've ever seen. I can tell you that much. And I do believe that frankly, the First Department, and I've been in front of the Second, I've done all of it. And I can tell you, we've turned around some of these judges, Judge Kaplan, Judge Engoron. They've been reversed. Now, remember, in this case, there was an appellate decision that actually shortened and made the statute of limitations much smaller. And then we had to go to trial, and he completely disregarded it and heard evidence outside of it. That is how insane we are. We're living in New York. It's a banana republic. The country is becoming a banana republic. But that was all by design. And I really am confident that on appeal, the world will see the real, true trial that happened, not what was reported.
Alina, is there any step that you can take to get this decision overturned or dismissed before you would even put this money with the post-judgment interest in escrow or put up the bond? Is there a step you could take or would take before that happens?
I'll say this. If there is a step, we know it, we'll take it. We have a very strong legal team, great legal minds on our team, and we are truly all hands on deck on this and several other witch hunts, unfortunately. But we select the team members that know the courts, that know these states, and I really am proud of our team. I can tell you that we have everything in play. We're working around the clock, and the American public and the American people should just know that we are not stupid. We are not blind to what is happening. We are fighting it, and we have made records to do so. And that is all I'll say on it.
And I understand you don't want to tell us your whole strategy, but I imagine at one point, if you don't get fair judges in New York, you want to find a pathway to get to the Supreme Court. When would you do that? Do you see a pathway to get to the Supreme Court, get out of New York and get some fairness from the top court of the land?
Yeah, that's a great question. The truth of the matter is that there is a process to these things, and the process does not work within their election interference plans, unfortunately. There is a long-haul plan, and that may include the Supreme Court. As you've seen, President Trump is not afraid to take matters to the Supreme Court, especially the matters that protect the Constitution, our rights as Americans to vote for who we want to vote for, let alone in this case, as he mentioned last night at Town Hall, Eighth Amendment rights, First Amendment rights. Don't forget, I'm still gagged on some issues on this case. That says it all right there. And we will take those all the way up. We are prepared to do so because the American people, frankly, deserve it. You know, we've seen politics. We've seen it all permeate all aspects, our borders, everything. And it's time for us to hold tried and true what America was built on. And that's the Constitution and morals and being a state and a country where this does not happen. And I'm committed to it. His legal team's committed to it. He's committed to it. That's obvious. And we'll keep fighting.
If you're gagged on this, I apologize, but it's just astonishing. We played a little piece of the Attorney General Letitia James from ABC News. Here's something else she said. We're prepared to make sure that the judgment is paid to New Yorkers. And yes, I look at 40 Wall Street each and every day, which is one of the Trump properties. And ABC went as far as, I believe, dispatching a reporter down to 40 Wall Street to have that iconic Trump building as a backdrop. But what is she up to, Alina, the AG, at this point? By goading President Trump?
She's not treating the Trump derangement syndrome, I think, is what she's not up to. I think that she should really assist herself and help the state of New York by focusing on things that people really want fixed, like crime, like security, like taxes, gas, the cost of eggs. You know, it's unfortunate that this has truly become like a pandemic. People can't see straight, and she is effectively a poster woman for that. You can tell by her tone, her whispering, her whole thing. I'm not a body language expert, but anybody can see it. This is a crown jewel to her. It is not about the state of New York. Let me be very clear. This is about Miss James and only Miss James. And she ran on Trump. It was before she was even Attorney General. It was before she even knew anything about Trump. And she's literally just bolstering a political career where radical lefts enjoy taking down somebody who made the country better and who will make the country better.
You know, if Donald Trump isn't safe, no one's safe. And I think that's why there's these arguments that people are going to leave New York and go somewhere else. But I do want to switch gears and get down to the drama in the Peach State, where a column in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution claims that the misconduct allegations levied at Georgia District Attorney Fani Willis shows that, quote, dominant, ambitious women leaders pay the price. Again, I would argue that you're a pretty successful, dominant woman. It's not that women pay the price, is it? It's more that corrupt women who make money off of their boyfriends, who they give them jobs and pay them big salaries. That's the issue, not strong women.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, my whole theory, and you can quote me on this because I'm sure it'll come up. I want to know if I'm allowed to say that. Am I allowed to say that when the trolls hit me, when I get death threats? Does that rule? Is no one above the law if you're a Republican? Let's see how that works, because I'm not buying what they're selling. That's the truth.
I know that you're smart enough not to have $9,000 to $15,000 in your house, which, again, like stashed away, or try to use that as an excuse when you were paying off your boyfriend and he was spending money that you were paying him on behalf of the people of the state of Georgia. He
wasn't paying him. He was getting it for free. She was getting it for free. There was no payments done. She wasn't taking money out of the cash machine.
Alina, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. And by the way, she doesn't know how she gets her money. She can't trace it. I mean, it's all crazy. I just wish the country was treating everybody fairly. That's the way it used to be.
It used to be that way.
We laugh, but it's not funny. It's not funny for anybody.
No,
Alina.
it's not.
No, it's not. Alina Habba, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work.